Hey guys, hope you're having a great Friday or whatever day you're watching this. We got an update to the situation from yesterday, a little bit of a follow-up. Consider checking out that segment if you missed it for all the context. However, essentially, the situation actually all began with a clip of Pokimane where on her Twitch channel she was talking about the other streaming site Kick and why she doesn't want to stream there and her opinion on the morality of streaming there. Her take got posted on Twitter, some people agreeing, some people disagreeing. One such person disagreeing with Pokimane, then getting quote retweeted by this editor of Hasan's, name is Osto, and Osto was essentially trying to defend Pokimane, and then Osto got quote retweeted by Charlie, and it became this heated thing between Charlie and Osto. The general consensus is that Charlie made a number of points that were largely ignored by Osto, and or a lot of people seem to have taken issue with Osto's use of straw man arguments. And the main point of contention during this heated discussion was the ethics of streaming on Kick, where Osto essentially makes the argument that Kick is ethically worse than Twitch, as opposed to Charlie, who makes the argument that both Kick and Twitch are ethically corrupt in various ways, and that no one should morally grandstand one platform over the other. As always, of course, make up your own opinion on that stuff, and that is simply a brief recap of the situation from yesterday. If you do want the full context, definitely consider checking out that prior segment. And thanks for your patience as we recap that for those who already tuned in. Now, let's continue. So at the end of yesterday's segment talking about this situation, this was the final tweet by Charlie that we took a look at, because at that point in time, there was no other tweets to take a look at. That has since changed. We now have this response from Hasan's editor, Osto, saying to Charlie, "Are you even reading my tweets?" I guess quoting him, and then saying, "the tweets," and posting this image. Before we continue on with the discussion between Charlie and Hasan's editor, Osto, however, there's something else you might want to see, something that occurred in a prior tweet that Osto made from yesterday, where Osto was responding to Charlie here, and Osto said to Charlie, "You didn't have to go over the word limit to say you can't tell the difference between a site that's only digital slot machines and a site where people buy laundry detergent." Quoting him, saying, "Steak isn't advertised anywhere on Kick right now except a gambling category," and then saying, "Brother, open your eyes," and posting this image of the front page on Kick. However, this image, as Charlie later went on to point out, doesn't actually back up Osto's point. It actually backs up Charlie's point. Where, as mentioned, Charlie even points out that mistake and goes on to say, "Your screenshot literally shows what I mean. Steak isn't on the site until you go into the gambling category, so I don't know what point you're making." And so now going back to Osto's tweet here, I know it's a lot of going back and forth. Bear with me. Here's what you're probably going to want to see. It turns out that Osto was hiding a number of responses, which, like Charlie, pointed out that the image Osto used were not actually backing up their point. And people saying that, well, there's no steak there in the image, and that got them hidden. Another response saying, "The picture makes no sense, you getting cooked," and that got hidden. Another one saying, "Amazon's money comes from Vanguard and BlackRock, so you pick your own poison," and that got hidden. Another tweet saying, "Wow, now that you mention it, I see what you mean. How could we all be so blind all this time?" Seemingly being a bit sarcastic there, and that also getting hidden. All right, now back to the new stuff. So Osto made this tweet. We already saw this one. It basically says Charlie's tweets are too long in meme format, and then goes on to write this, quoting him, saying, "If the goal is to create gambling addicts, then obviously it's unforgivable," saying, "We agree. I see Kick's owners say our goal is to create gambling addicts and go, that's bad. You see it and break out the printing press to engage them in debate. Like, gosh dang, this is their ad copy." Then saying, "I get that you don't want to label everyone who works promo for the orphan crushing factory a bad guy, but you're out here arguing it's actually equally immoral to pitch your viewers on free shipping versus a gambling disorder like dude." Charlie goes on to say, "I get you don't want to label everyone who works for the worker crushing factory a bad guy, but you're dismissing very valid suffering to convince your audience that it's morally okay to excuse one, but not the other." Sans editor then saying, "Charlie, it seems like you're dismissing the very valid suffering you care so deeply about by continuing to stream on Twitch and providing value for Amazon. If you stop streaming there, I'll support you fully. I'll even stop streaming there too." Charlie then saying, "I've outright spoken on this many times. Once my Twitch contract is up, I'm going to try streaming on other platforms. Not one exclusively anymore. Why is that the only way to support what I've said, though? If you agree on my stance with how bad Amazon is, why not be upset that I or Hasan knowingly accepted contract money from Twitch after so many years of worker deaths and human rights violations? Have you ever been disappointed that your favorite streamers are willing employees of Amazon? If not, why? You have a huge issue with them with Kick labeling them all as, quote, bad people." Which is something that Osto previously did if you missed the prior segment. That was, I think, one of the initial tweets that kicked us all off. aside from the Pokemon stuff. Anyways, continuing. And once again, where we left off now, you have a huge issue with them with Kick, labeling them as all bad people, but not Twitch. And I'm just confused on why the worker suffering and exploitation doesn't mean as much to you, and you can excuse it for streaming on Twitch. To which Osto then says, all companies exploit their workers. That's capitalism. But I am proud Hasan is one of the top individual donators to the Amazon Labor Union and trying to fight for those workers. This would be a good way for you to help if you would like to. Posting this insider image, I suppose. It reads, financial disclosures filed last week by the ALU show that the union raised more than $850,000 last year, more than half of it from just 3 donors: the American Federation of Teachers, the International Commissioner for Labor Rights, and the leftist Twitch streamer Hasan Piker. And I believe that's where the discussion actually does end. I don't see any response, at least as of recording this segment, where Charlie replied to Osto on that one. So maybe he got busy with his own day streaming and whatever else he's up to, or maybe he just decided that this conversation wasn't really going anywhere, so he wasn't going to put any more time forward into talking with this person. Not too sure. Now some public reception. A couple of responses we'll take a look at to that last tweet. A bit of duality here. Alex saying, this reply is kind of the end of the convo, Charlie. If you want to say Amazon is bad, leave for someone better, or become the 4th largest Amazon Labor Union donor behind Hasan. Kick is not one of the better opinions. In fact, it is a significantly worse one. Hey, I got a question, Alex. Why can't Charlie become a donator above Hasan? Wouldn't that be better? Like, if you want the Labor Union to get donations from Charlie? Like, just saying. Anyways. And the comment right below that reads, so you've already established how capitalism works. That's good to know. And it's great that Hasan is raising money, but how does that at all combat what Charlie has said? In fact, most of the money going to that union donated by Hasan was probably because he was on Twitch. Some more split opinions here. Ham saying, not gonna lie, Charlie, you got cooked here. Bo saying, there's no shot you just defended worker exploitation because, quote, all companies do it, unquote. And someone sort of memeing in the center of those saying, you guys should first own the means of production in Hasan livestream. Ask for some share and ownership like true communists, brother. As you can see here, the situation between Osto and Charlie actually resulted in Hasan and Charlie talking about this live on Hasan's stream from the other day. I'll link the full VOD in the description if you want to check it out, at least the VOD of that portion. It's about 33 minutes long. Top responses include people saying how this was a nice debate to see, essentially, given how calm and level-headed the two were during the discussion, which caused other people to also say that this wasn't really a debate and was more so just a discussion. Speaking of such, we can see one comment right here, for example, saying, I wouldn't call it a debate. I wouldn't call it a debate, excuse me. They just talked with each other to clarify what was going on. If you sort by new, the comments are a bit more divided. There are still some people saying that they essentially enjoyed the discussion / debate, others saying that it was utterly useless and boring. You can see more polarization here. One comment saying, love these two. Another saying, Hasan rambles for 3 or 4 minutes. Charlie makes a clear and concise point in 10 seconds. Repeat 10 times. Saved you 30 minutes. Thank me later. And then a comment right between those talking about how this is one of the best debates they've ever seen. And a few comments right below that one. Someone else talks about Hasan's editor saying that they are actually unhinged. Well, if you want to see more public reception, you know where to find it. In the comments of that VOD and on Twitter, the tweets talking about this, etc., etc. So, think I'll just about leave it here. As always, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing what you have to say about all of this in the comments. So, I will see you there as well as in the next segment tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.